Good morning, Service Alliance community. How y'all doing today? Brother Doug,
Morning, Zach.
what's up, buddy?
You amped, my friend? Are you pumped up? Are you excited about it being a Monday?
I just tried to drink my coffee with the lid shut. What does that tell
Oh, all right, all right. It's okay to stumble a little bit.
you? Yeah, I was riding the struggle bus a little bit this morning, but it's all right. A little chaotic weekend. A lot of work. A lot of work.
Yeah, yeah. Well, your industry, you're getting caught up on everything right now, right?
Yeah. Snow is coming, and you know, you got to get it done before that snow gets here.
Right, right. Well, some of your clients are going, will they get to us before it happens?
Yeah, yeah,
I had
yeah.
a patio put in a few years ago, and the uh, the company is a friend of mine, and his baby came right in the middle of our project. So he
Oh,
took time off, which is very reasonable, But so grass never grew when he was done, tearing up the yard. But I have a nice patio made by Jake. But
yeah.
gotta squeeze them in when you're in that seasonal outdoor business.
Man, you do, you do. It's a tough one. There's just so much to get done, and a lot of times stuff is dependent on other people doing
Mhm.
their jobs,
That's
right?
right.
So that can really put you behind. Soul. If you have snow in Miami, I got
Jesus is Jesus is coming, Saul. When you
I
see snow, it's
o-
over.
oceanfront property in Arizona to sell you, buddy. So we're talking about some diamond in the rough clients, right? Quality over quantity. There are times in your business where you're going to filter through both. You're going to have quantity. You're just not
Mm.
going to have a choice. You have a lot of technicians. You're growing into that phase, and you're going to have quantity, and it doesn't matter. But how do you either turn them into quality clients or begin to find more quality clients? And we'll share some of the stuff that we've done. Um, I have a couple other resources we can tap into for this, but I think experience tends to be the best for it, right?
Right.
Finding the things that have worked and the things that haven't worked. So
Well, I'll get us going with a prayer to start the week. Lord God, we thank you for this time each Monday morning for Zach and I to hang out together. God, thank you for the gift of brotherhood. Um, Thank you for Saul being a part of our lives as well. We thank you, God, that we are brothers and sisters in Christ. And Lord, we just ask that you help us be great servants to the people around us. Help us be good stewards of the gifts and treasures that you give us, and help us stay humble and grateful for everything that comes our way, whether it's a snowstorm or a beautiful sunny day, whether it's a big fat paycheck or just enough to cover the expenses. Lord, help us stay grateful. In Jesus' name, amen.
amen. So I think we should define what is our diamond in the rough client. Doug, have you ever figured out what your avatar of a client is? Like whose action appliances clients to work with, the clients that you guys just absolutely love serving?
Yeah, I mean, we're looking for people that identify with world class service, because we are charging world class prices, right? So we want to make sure that we are living up to the standards of the customer. And so if we're dealing with a customer that only cares about the cheapest price but doesn't care about how long that repair lasts or whether it was a good decision or not, so we don't make a great connection with those types of customers. So world class, looking for fast and prompt service. Those are the customers we're seeking.
So do you think your price helps filter out some of the quantity clients versus quality, or
It's possible. It's possible, Zach. You know, I'm not connected to the phones anymore, man. You know, the further you get away from the heart of things, you can only trust on reports and what other people are sensing the vibe is. I mean, we're about ready to raise our rates and service fee. So there's always a concern that people may not choose us, but your favorite pizza place or your favorite local store that you love going to, if they don't charge the right price, they're going to be gone, and you'll be missing them. So you know, it's hard to know, Zach. To be honest with you,
so I would counter that. Because I think one of the key things, like once you've started acquiring these clients, right? And we talk about it all the time, it's your KPIs. It's making sure that you're tracking this stuff and making sure your team, if you have a team, is putting it into the system, and you're able to, hey, we got that from Google, we got that from BNI, we got that from, Susie Smith down the street. She's referred 18 of her family members to us, right? Should be tracking this stuff. And if you're not, go back and watch those episodes and get KPIs, get that tracking in place, start doing that. But I would venture a guess, because you've been able to maintain, and you're also looking at the other side of that, right? You're looking at customer satisfaction. Hey, are our clients actually happy with what we're doing? We're getting the reviews. Are they using us again? Are they referring us? I bet you have more data than you realize this morning.
oh, I have all those things, Zach. Volume of calls coming in each day, percentage of customers that we lose because they don't stay on hold, maybe if there is a hold time, conversion rate of calling in and booking, um, and then tracking what happens after that. It's all there, Zach, and we have a cancellation rate that we track as well. Again, I've said this before on the show. I see people on Facebook, boasting that they're booked out 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's nothing to boast about. That just means you have massive amounts of opportunity lost because you don't have the right staff. And so when you're monitoring all these numbers, you are trying to live up to the maximized level of everything. And a new kind of pressure comes onto you, which is, how much staff do I hire? How many technicians can I truly support in the busy season and the slow season? So I know all those numbers very well, but again, I'm talking more on the finite feelings of the community. Like, I believe we're heading into a real recession now, where people are actually going to be freaked out about money. And that is going to change the behaviors and the attitudes of customers. They might not call us, or they might call us. They might now repair things to save $75 on a repair over buying new. But a year or two ago, they might have said, for $175 more, I can have a brand new machine. And they're going to go buy a new one. So every season brings a change of mindset in customers, and that's where I'm lost, Zach. Is I can't tell unless I interview my technicians and talk to my CSRs and listen to calls. It's a bit of research, but if you're still out there as an owner and you start to notice your customers deciding to repair over replace, and it's catching you off guard, like, whoa, I've never gotten a yes to this Whirlpool washer control board before. Pay attention to those trends, because that's what we're talking about as far as diamonds in the rough and customers. That what are they thinking about? What do they want? Right?
Yeah. And to that point, if you're booked out 2 weeks, you probably have a lot of headache clients mixed into that bunch, right? And so having experienced this myself, both in the appliance world and the roofing world, um, the noise clients, right? We had a ton of warranty work. We when I bought the company, at least 70% of the business was warranty work. It was just so much noise and so much trouble. And those were the clients that wanted to complain all the time and wanted to, you know, well, my warranty company's paying and you should just fix it. And, why are you not fixing it? They were the most troublesome clients. And once I got rid of those and started kind of filtering into the things that I wanted to work with, then we went through even different seasons, right? Where I didn't do sealed systems for a long time because no one wanted to do a sealed system. It was cheaper to buy a fridge. And then we came into a point in time where it was like, those are my diamond clients, man. I could go out and do 3 of those a day and
That's right.
make more money than doing 10, 12, 13 calls a day, right?
Yeah.
And so you have to figure out where your market is. If you don't like doing sealed systems, you don't have a sealed system guy, that's fine. Maybe it's the dryer clients that are ready to rock and roll and they want the dryer vent cleaning while you're repairing the squeaking dryer, right?
Yeah.
You have to be able to kind of filter down and figure out like what's important. You want those clients that are ready to buy, like Doug was saying. You want those people that are like, absolutely, I am fixing this, I'm not going to buy a new one. Like, that is the client. And I'd be curious, Doug, since we're coming into the slow season, if you guys are able to filter through your data. I'd love to know, is it Susie Smith, the 50-year-old mom that her kids are off at college, that's buying from you on a regular basis? Or is it the 85-year-old grandma? Is it the 40 something that's out and working and doesn't have time to repair himself? Like, what is that demographic? Because that's going to help you figure out where you're going to market. Am I going to put more to Facebook? Am I going to put more into, where am I going to try and pull from,
Yeah. It's an important number, or a metric to know, is the type of customer that you have. Again, I don't know that I can, at our level, kind of filter through and understand the type of client specifically in the sense that you described, right? For instance, if when we raise our rates, if our cancellation rate doesn't drop and our booking rate stays the same, then that means that there's still a need for people who want same day, next day service. And they're gonna continue to call us. So I just have to kind of watch those trends. It's tricky, right? COVID was a really challenging time because there was nothing that was normal. Everything was skewed, and even mindsets were messed up, right? If you couldn't get a new appliance delivered from Home Depot, Lowe's, and they only dropped it at the top of your driveway during COVID, then you can't say in 21 and 22 that you knew what type of customer and buyer there was out there. That was a pressured customer making a decision they may not normally make. I've been around a long time to see seasons where people are redoing kitchens with regular line appliances, mid-range pricing, and then all of a sudden there have been seasons where there's a warming drawer and a coffee machine, an induction cooktop, and high vaulted ceilings. But as resources happen, electric bills and oil bills and gas bills, all those things go up. All of a sudden, a beautiful kitchen with the vaulted ceiling is not practical. And so I think we're going to see what happens in the next few years for sure, or a couple years at least.
Yeah. I mean, 2011, 2010, I was getting in.
Yeah,
And
2008 was the financial crisis, and you had middle managers and
right,
mid white collar middle America lost a lot of jobs,
right.
and they were getting rid of their $500,000 homes and downsizing, right?
And we're coming back into a season like that. I've been saying it for years that COVID was like just this artificial inflation of what we dealt with in our industry. We're kind of coming back around in the cycle to where we were in about 2010, 2011, 2012, right? We're kind of hitting that spot. Actually, we might even be hitting closer to the 2006, 2007
Mhm.
area. So it'd be interesting to see what happens, but that's where the quality of the client is going to matter more. I know you and I are both in BNI. Do you find those to be good quality leads? Have you gotten a ton of leads from? Uh,
Yeah, yeah. Um, I mean, we're pretty niche. So roofers, everybody, there's a lot more roofs that need to be replaced. You can't just go buy a new house. You're not going to trash your house and build a new house with a new roof. So our industry, roofers definitely get a more robust lead referral for sure.
we
But
also get a lot more quantity than quality of
well,
clients.
that's
So,
true too. That's true too. But you only need 5 jobs and I need 50 to
right.
make the same amount of profit or some number like that. But in BNI, what's great is, a referral coming from one of your BNI referral people or partners. I mean, they're not just going to say, oh, call these people, or I
Yeah.
saw them on Facebook. They're going to say, his name's Doug, and the cool thing about Action Appliance is they do service and sales. So no matter what happens, we can take care of. They'll be able to take care of your appliance need, and they've been around since 1961. My commercials have built sort of taglines that all my BNI partners have, so that I'm getting a next level lead for sure there. You get the scrappy ones too, but not very often. Typically, they know what they're getting into. And then if it's a BNI partner that's used us and they were thinking to fix the dryer was going to be $250 and they got the sticker shock that it was 375, but they went with the repair and we came out the same day that they called and maybe we had it on the truck, and if not, we got back in 2 days, and
Mhm.
they see that, they're going to be honest. They're going to say they're not the cheapest, but I promise you they're going to take care of you. And if that customer is looking for the cheapest solution, then maybe that referral won't even call me, right? So my BNI partner would say they're not the cheapest, but they are amazing, and this is what I experienced. They might just go, screw it, I'll just go to Home Depot and buy a new appliance,
Yep.
or they're going to call and they're going to know what they get.
Yeah. Well, and so that's where the quality comes in, right? That is a vetted referral source. That's not just Google. They find your name and they assume that,
Mhm.
they're going to be able to fix their dryer for $6 and a pack
That's
of
right.
bubble gum,
That's
right?
right.
It's going to be someone who understands like there is some value
Mhm.
that is behind this. And so that's finding a value driven client. And really I know that you guys go through other sources, but I would venture to bet that most of those clients that come from BNI are the kind of clients that you want to work with
Yeah.
because they already know the value that is packed behind it. And so they tend to be your lowest maintenance, your highest ROI, and your most enjoyable clients
Mhm.
to work with, right? And that's what I'm talking about with the diamond in the rough with the quality. Back to Andrew's comment earlier, we're reactionary. We worry about us to worry about a specific audience. I think we cater to those in need and not the people who may want us. And I argue with that because I don't want to serve everyone who's in need because I've done that before and I've experienced the pain that comes with a quantity of everyone, right? The number all is not a good number for me, personally. It might be for some people.
Yeah.
Don't don't take that the wrong way. But for me, my ideal client is not a part of the number all. It is a very specific subset of customers who are ready to buy, who aren't going to fight me every step of the way. I want those people that know that the value is there, right?
Yeah, well, I agree more with Andrew. So Andrew, now we have to start a podcast because Zach and I disagree. Um, I again, I watched it in COVID. When you're booked out and you're understaffed, the next logical thing to get the most profit is to not go and fix microwaves and dishwashers,
Yeah.
right? If it's an LG refrigerator, I'm not going to go on it. That's survival mode. That's you picking and choosing the clients you want so that you can be sure you make the most money. Or maybe you're more holistic and you're like, well, what about the person with the great washer? If they have to wait 5 days for me to come out and I fix 7 microwaves or go in and just collect the service fee on 7 microwaves, I could have took care of that lady. There's a lot of speculation there. And to Andrew's point, I don't think it's called reactionary, Andrew. You have to identify who you are. So if you never want to hire anybody because you hate employees, Zach, then you have to do that. You have to be that way. Go and find special customers that will be there and acknowledge the fact that, Zach, you might lose Mrs. Jones to Action Appliance because she couldn't wait for you. And then, my tech Tony was just as good as you were, Zach. He doesn't have a beard, but she's willing to sacrifice the beard, right? So it means that you need to react in the right way, and that was to hire more people, to understand that when people, for us customers, it's not about the repair ever. It really isn't. It's about a lifelong relationship. Do you know how expensive it is to get a lead today from, say, Google? It's like
Oh, it's
60,
ridiculous.
70, 80, $90 to make the phone ring. If you go and just fix their range for them and don't leave your information behind, don't make a connection so that they remember you and will call you, that is just terrible, wasteful business. You need to make a customer for life every single time you go in the house. That's why a dishwasher or a microwave or a sub-zero refrigerator doesn't matter to me. Now, once we meet and talk and they experience us and our pricing, then they might say, you're not a good fit for me. But I'm going to treat every $89 lead the same way. So,
See, and I went on the dishwashers and the microwaves, but I went on them for customers who had value. I went on them for customers who had already established the lifelong.
yeah,
I couldn't keep employees. I mean, like the training pain and a lot of that was on me and just not having the experience to be able to train and not being able to get myself off the road. But I did not have the time to do every nonsense microwave. But if one of my clients who had been a lifelong client and who had been with me said, "Hey,
yeah,
I need you to look at my microwave,"
yeah,
my butt was out the door because I knew that client who had already seen the value, who had already like drank the Kool-Aid with Gordon's Appliance at the time, was the kind of client that was going to refer me to 10 other people because I showed up, looked at their microwave, figured out if it was repairable or not, and
mhm.
gave them the honest answer. So I'm not saying don't go on those. I think cherry picking calls. I hated working on dishwashers, but I would go on them
Mhm.
for
Yeah,
very specific clients. I would go on
right.
them for the lifetime clients, the clients that were referral partners. I wouldn't go on it for everyone that found me on Google and thought I was going to fix their dishwasher for 3 cents and
Mhm.
walk away.
Right.
Um, And so I think, as I said before, you got to figure out who your avatar is. You got to figure out what you are as a company. You have to understand all of that stuff as you're kind of filtering through these leads.
Sure.
You know,
Sure. I mean, we don't, I would never lower my price for a cheapskate customer. I would never lower my price for a landlord who says they have a ton of business for us.
yep.
We,
But how many guys do that? And that's my point. Like you have to have a series of non-negotiables within your business.
right.
You have to have that defined. Who am I to be able to find the clients that you want to work with? I'm
Right.
willing to work with a landlord who's not going to beat me up over price. I took my landlords because she didn't. My favorite one down in Morris, it was about a 40-minute drive, but she had a ton of volume. She's a great lady to work with. I never had problems. And then I passed her off to a good friend of mine who has the sales side. So now he's doing her repairs and sales, and she's still a great client for him.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't a headache. She didn't fight about the price. It wasn't nonsense. But the guy who was constantly beating me up and saying, "Oh, you're so expensive, and why weren't you here yesterday?" Well, because you called me today. That guy, I booted his butt out the door
Oh,
faster
sure.
than anyone.
Sure. Oh, absolutely.
He was a cheapskate slumlord.
Yeah.
That's not my diamond in the rough client, but she
Right.
was. In 1 year, I did $70,000, $80,000 of business with her, and I didn't have to fight. That was my ideal client. You know what I mean? I think we have to be very firm in what those non-negotiables are for us,
Sure.
right?
Sure.
You shared, hey, we're same day, next day. I'm not gonna back down. I'm not a cheapskate company, so I'm not gonna back down for you there, right? I'm sure you have some other non-negotiables that have led you to who your diamond clients are.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. There's you have to get creative. You have to get creative. I was just thinking about this just now. Imagine either monthly or quarterly, you're giving back a volume. I think Saul might have had a stroke or something. He's just kind of rambling in this podcast.
He called you Chuck Norris
I
earlier, and
I
so
saw
that's
that.
where
I
that
saw
came
that.
from.
I saw that. Someone go to Marcone in Miami and just make sure Saul's okay. Like it's all about making a connection and a relationship with those diamond customers.
Yeah.
Like imagine you have a landlord who promises that they're going to call you a lot. Set a threshold based on your current
Yeah.
landlords, and then tell the new landlord, if you meet this threshold in revenue, I'm going to give you back 2% every single month or every single quarter.
Yeah.
If you go to this level, I'm going to give you a 5%. That's how you're going to get your discounts with us, is when it happens, I'm going to send you a check.
Yep.
Imagine that. Imagine that. Keeping at your regular price instead of kowtowing to what you hope is a great deal.
Mhm.
Because here's the deal. Like a guy like Andrew, he's not gonna be able to wear 12 hats and manage all that. You have to put systems and processes in place. Wouldn't it be great to have 10 landlords that took on the Andrew package where they get cash back every month or every quarter, right? Put the system in place. So have Andrew's techs charging the right price, and then when the volume's there, give it back. So it's I don't know how else you can do it. I can't vet 1,700 customers a month and figure out if it's a customer's been with us a long time and it makes sense to do. So I don't know. And we do write people off, by the way. It's a polite way of doing it. We just put them in the do not service category and we don't go back. But it
Well,
is
that is
it's
part of
tricky, Zach.
that is honest to God part of figuring out who your diamond clients are. And again, the reason I said it the way that I did, your diamond in the rough clients, right? You don't know unless you go to them.
Right.
You still gotta freaking show up
That's right.
because you could think that the guy on the phone that's just like, well, I don't know. I don't know. Why don't you come out and take a look at it? You don't know
Mhm.
what that guy's going to turn into or that
Right.
lady's going to turn into,
Right.
right? They could be that diamond client. They could be the one that gives you 100 other people with an average service ticket of $450 an appliance, right? Like
Mhm.
you don't know. You got to collect the data over time and figure out what's going on. And that's where, if you have a team, training your team to put good customer notes in your CRM,
Yes.
put those
Yes.
notes in there so it
Absolutely.
pops up. And when the CSR see, hey, listen, you know, Chad went out to this client and oh my God, they're amazing. And, he gave me a tip and he was all about the customer education. And then, um, he took my cards and he passed them out to,
Yep.
his neighbors at the barbecue. He's awesome. Well, that guy's getting priority scheduling
Sure.
when he calls back, right? You
Yep.
got to make sure we're
Yep.
teaching the team how to. Now
Yep.
we've harvested the diamond in the rough. We've gotten this great customer, and this
Mhm.
great customer is giving us customers. Now, how do we polish the stone, so
Yes.
to speak, right?
Yep. Yep. I like it. You started with, you don't know who might be your diamond and customer, but once you identify them, definitely be unique and treat them in a special way, because that's the difference between us and corporations,
Yep.
right? We have this luxury of flexibility and nimbleness to do things in a way, but I mean, you still have to be structured. Otherwise, it's
Sure.
a failed promise. If you promise to do things, I'm going to take care of you anytime you ever call, and then your CSR doesn't see the notes or there are no notes, now you're a shit show. But yeah, structure it, man. I think that's a really great thing to do right there.
Hey, I didn't say Chad got a discount. I said Chad got priority scheduling. There's a difference. I'm not cutting my pricing for Chad. I'm making
Right.
sure that Chad gets that white glove A plus priority service, not a discount. He's going to get the best of me, not a discounted me,
Mm,
right?
right.
Um and I think that's the difference in great clients and crappy clients, having worked with them, right? The crappy clients tend to be the ones that always want a discount. The great clients showing up same day, next day, showing up as an extra call at the end
Mhm.
of the day. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you fit me in. Thank you so much. I referred all these clients, and they give you a list of clients that they referred, and you can pull it up in the CRM. And sure enough, those clients exist.
Right.
They did call you,
Right.
right? That is the customer that I'm talking about. That's
Mhm.
what I want my team recognizing,
Right.
right?
Right.
So I
What Chad needs to experience is shock and awe. Um, get something from you, Zach, that he had no idea was coming. So you meet him and you repair his washer for him, and and after you leave and you've impressed him, you stay connected. The question is what else can you do for Chad? We're not, Andrew and I, we're not going to put a roof on the house, so we're certainly not going to offer a
but
roof,
but you
but
might
everything
refer.
else you can offer is a dryer vent cleaning. So sending an email, right? Or even how about like in the slow season, sending like a refrigerator maintenance repair. And you say it in the ad that says, for less, you are a loyal customer. For less than the price of a service fee, for $99, we will come and do a free maintenance on your refrigerator. Show a picture of a dirty coil, right? Whatever that needs to be. And then make sure you're intentional when you get in the house, or let them know. It also includes a free inspection of all the other appliances. You know how many people, when we do like a free inspection for a single price, like 7 appliances for one single service fee that's a little higher, how many of them have broken stuff and they think that we're going to go and fix it for free? The soap dispenser cup doesn't open. when we do preventative maintenance service calls, 20% of the time there's something broken. So what about filling your slow schedule with a really incredibly great deal and then do the free inspection? Chad now has lights in his refrigerator that he hasn't had for 3 years. How about a gas fireplace? You ever change a thermocouple in an oven? I mean, it's like, what can you do to impress Chad? Because he had no idea that you did that. And so there's a we're this is the kind of market industry that we're in. It's this appliances, but there are other things that we can do in their home that makes it so we don't have to pay the $90. And
Well,
who wins? The customer wins because they get the great, amazing service from Andrew now in other areas. Yeah.
one of the biggest things that you can do, and this is how I knew who my quality clients were. I would get phone calls for, you got a guy? Even
Yeah.
still, my quality clients are, you got a guy? Yeah, I absolutely got a guy. Right. So
Sure.
you might not be putting the roof on, but you got a roofer and
Oh
he
yeah.
put the roof on. Right.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
quality client is going to call you, hey, your service was amazing. I was referred to you by so and so. Do you know someone that does this?
Yeah.
Right. And that's
Yeah.
going to be a diamond client every time, because those are the type of clients that want to refer and want to ask questions and want
Mhm.
to utilize everyone who's in your circle, because their experience with you
Right.
was just above and beyond anything
Yep.
else they'd ever experienced before.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I've been working on a email. We have a newsletter every month, but send it out twice a year. All the home service BNI partners that we have, right? The movers, the electrician, the roofer, a couple other solar guy. Just throw that in the newsletter, saying, hey, these are some trusted partners that we work with. Keep them in mind if you need them. So definitely, that's again more stuff for Chad that he never thought he was going to get when you went out and fixed his cooktop. Was he now found a great roofer, or he found a great HVAC guy, or whoever?
yep. And that's part of polishing that diamond in the rough.
That's right.
Right.
Yep.
So, anyway, hopefully that was helpful. Um, I
Seriously though, someone needs to check in on Saul to make sure he's okay. Sometimes strokes and stuff, people start to ramble and you don't understand what they're saying. I'll call him after. I'll
he
just make sure he's okay.
he just hasn't had enough Cuban coffee this morning. But
Oh, is that what it is? All right.
I don't know. That's my problem.
Yeah.
Uh oh boy, oh boy. Hey, so guess what we got coming up? We got a mastermind coming up here November 15th. Servicealliancegroup.com. If you are not an all access member, go ahead and join at servicealliancegroup.com. I am leading this one. This is my favorite time of the year. I love talking about goals. I love talking about the things we're going to do to grow. And I love getting a bunch of you guys together, because I know most of you have not started thinking about what you want to do next year, because I was that guy.
Mm.
You come out of busy season and you're like, now it's time for a nap.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's not. It's time to actually put in the work to
That's right.
make
Build.
it happen
Yep.
next year. So servicealliancegroup.com. Join me on that next mastermind, November 15th. Yeah, that's probably a good idea, buddy. Or just drink 4 more cups of Cuban coffee. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Be all good. Anyway, hopefully that helped you guys. If you're curious, reach out to Doug or I. We'll
Mhm.
kind of help you figure out, like, who's that ideal client, and how do we polish that relationship. Doug is the absolute best at that. I'm not the best. I'd rather have smaller quantity of
Human
clients,
interaction.
more
Oh.
well more more less clients, less headache, but better quality clients.
Yeah. Well, yeah, a mutual friend, I think, David Oliva.
Yeah.
I mean, one year he just did a factory reset, man. He got rid of a couple technicians that were just not producing and more headaches. He scaled his business back, and at the end of that year, he had more profit.
Yep.
More profit than he did the year before when he was doing bigger volume. And so you've got to keep your levels. You've got to make sure you're maintaining a good level. If you're obviously building and growing, your profit margin is going to be a little bit smaller, but you have to make sure, to your point about goal setting, if you go into 2026 without one of your goals being, what is the profit margin that I want to receive from all my hard work? If you don't have that number nailed, and you're going to just say, I'm going to go do the best I can and deal with it as it comes, you are probably not going to achieve anything that you think. It's just scary, man.
Yeah, David and I have a very similar philosophy when it comes to customer interaction.
Yeah.
Right. And I love seeing what he's done with his company, where he
Yep.
contracted to actually grow. Absolutely love.
That's right.
That.
He's back on the rise and looking not just next year, but years down the road. Of course,
Right.
I'm not going to share his ideas, but he's thinking big picture and resetting, and it's pretty scary. But he's from New York, and he's got the New York accent, so he's not going to be afraid. He's just going to do what it takes to get it done. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have a ton of respect for David. So.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, hopefully that helped. We hope you have a good week. Get out there, polish those diamond in the rough lines this week.
That's right.
We'll see you next time on the Morning Grind. Have a good day, guys.
Thanks for tuning in to the Morning Grind podcast by Service Alliance Group. Subscribe to our channel and make sure you visit our website at servicealliancegroup.com for appliance repair business resources.